Hi, this is Jackie Chambers from Girlschool in Cyteria, and you're listening to the FANTASM Podcast. Rock.
FANTASM. Maximum terror.
That's your target audience, baby!
FANTASM.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
FANTASM.
Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal!
FANTASM.
Hey, this is Dr. Vincent West, medical doctor with the FANTASM Podcast, and I'm excited as hell today to have Jackie from Girlschool, and we're going to talk about their new album on Silver Lining Music, and WTF, what the fuck, 45? It's killer.
Yeah, we sort of say, what the 45?
Yeah, so I added my own twist there, Jackie. Sorry, but yeah, it's killer. Go all the way back for us if you don't care. Can you tell us, tell my listeners, our listeners here at Phantasm, how you joined Girlschool?
Yeah, well, I put an advert in Melody Maker, which is a music paper over here.
Okay.
And I'd been in a couple of signed bands, and Kim McAuliffe just saw my number in there. She was looking to do something side project because she was still in girls' school. They were still playing, but you know, it's kind of a quiet time in 1995. This was. So she called me up. We got on really well on the phone. We just chatted and we went out drinking that night. You know, went to see a boyfriend's band at the time. Just got on really well. So we decided to do some writing together, which we did. Well, I say we did some writing together. We basically went back to my house or her house and got drunk most of the time. Didn't really get much done. But, you know, we just became really good friends. Then I got to know Kim and Denise and Tracy. So, I mean, we all just became friends, hung out all the time. And Kelly Johnson at the time was kind of wanting to do something different. She was kind of fed up. She'd done it all, really, now with Girlschool. So she said to me, if you learn the songs, I should join. And they all wanted me to join. So I was like, okay. I didn't take it very seriously because I'd never played lead guitar before. So, I was like, yeah, whatever. And then a couple of years later, they were saying, come on, you've got to learn how to play lead guitar and you can join. So her and Chris Bonacci taught me how to play the solos. And the rest is history. In 1999, I finally joined, thinking it'd lead to about, 2 or 3 gigs and that'd be it. But here I am, 24, nearly 25 years later.
Wow. Super
Yeah.
cool. When did you guys start the writing process for the new album?
Well, I guess I always just write riffs. I just write riffs. I've got a little home studio here, so I kind of write the riffs, and you know, one's good rock riff, one's kind of for my other band, Cyteria, which is kind of rock, punk, pop sort of thing. So I just write loads of different things. And when it came to writing, we realised it'd been 8 years since the last album, and the record company asked us to do a new album. Of course, then COVID happened. So we didn't really get much writing done then. I just threw a few things down as ideas. And then when we came back to it, me and Kim, we got on Zoom a couple of times a week. And just, you know, she'd listen to riffs and she'd say, oh, I like that one, I don't like that one. Maybe we'll put them two together. I could think of something for that. And then the lyrics came together in the studio pretty much. So, yeah, it was kind of an easy process. We don't really labour over the songs. You know, it's not like we spend 5 months writing one song. It's like 10 minutes and it's done.
It's a really cool record. Let's kind of run through this thing here. What can you tell us about the first track, It Is What It Is?
Well, that was another of these ideas when we started to writing. Kim, we were starting in an airport, I think, one place, and everything's going wrong with airports since COVID. It's like you've always got delays or cancellations or just everything going on. And every time something happened, Kim would go, oh, it is what it is. Or somebody would go, well, it is what it is. We can't change anything. We've got to spit it out. And we said it so many times that Kim just said, oh, we should call a song It Is What It Is. And she goes, it is what it is. What are you going to do about it? And she just started singing it like that. And I went, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sort of an angry, just messing about. So I recorded that into a dictaphone straight away. And when it came to writing the actual songs, I just sort of strung some music around that, and then we wrote a verse after that. So it just kind of came together from circumstances that we've been or found ourselves in over the years.
It's a great way to kick the record off, too. What about track 2, Cold Dark Heart?
Cold Dark Heart, again, that was just a riff I had. It was a basic riff. I must have been feeling a bit Rammstein or a bit Killing Joke that day. It just came out like that. And Kim heard it, she went, it sounds like Cold Dark Heart in the chorus. And she just started singing Cold Dark Heart, really quite aggressive. I thought, yeah, that's a bit melancholy. So then I wrote a little bit more to it, music-wise. And we got in the studio and we just wrote the lyrics. And again, they just sort of came out. And things just happen with us because we're so used to writing with each other, me and Kim. We bounce off each other quite well.
Sure.
She'll come up with an idea, I'll come back with a better one. Or she'll come up with a better one than I've come up with. And it'll just keep snowballing like that until we get a song.
Fantastic. And then, let's see, track 3, Bump in the Night.
Yeah, that was, again, something Kim said, oh, what about a song called Bump in the Night? She was thinking like monsters and stuff like that. And I'd written a couple of songs like that, like with Alice Cooper in mind, because I'm a massive Alice Cooper fan. So I put all these like gruely things, like, you know, the monsters at the beginning, things like that. I did that at home. And I just built a song around that. I had a riff that fit what we needed. So we just simplified it a little bit because it was a bit complicated. And yeah, it just, again, all comes together really, really simply. Wrote some lyrics in the studio. I had some fun with that one because it was just like, we just kept thinking of silly things to put in there. Something in the house that's bigger than a mouse, that sort of thing, you know, just silly.
Sure, that's fun. Let's see, track 4, Barmy Army.
Barmy Army. That was one that I wrote with a professional songwriter called Tracy Lipp. Before we started writing this album, the record company asked us if we wanted to write with some outside writers. And we're like, okay, we've never done that before. You know, it might be something different, and it'll be a new experience for me. I've never done that. I usually just write on my own in the studio and then just layers with Kim after. So they put me in touch with I think he's American. Actually, I'm not sure where he's from, but he's written like with Lordi and Matt Bross. You know, he's got like real string to his bow. So we got on Zoom one day, and he had a riff that he played me, and I really liked it. I thought, yeah, that sounds like Girlschool could do that one. So we just developed that while we were online together. And he said, what do you want to write about? So the first thing that came into my head was about the fans, you know, Barmy Army fans. They've followed us 45 years loyally. So I said, let's write about the fans. So I started telling him all about, you know, the fans. Now I started writing lyrics. The lyrics were just coming out of me. It was kind of wrote itself, really, because I was saying, oh, they used to sleep in phone boxes. And every time I wrote something down, it was just really easy to rhyme it and fit it together.
Cool.
So it just came about like that. We wrote it on Zoom in an hour.
Excellent.
I demoed it at home, played it to the girls. They all liked it. I had my own little twist to it, our own Girlschool sort of style to it. And it just came about.
Awesome. Track 5, Invisible Killer.
That one, Tracy Lamb wrote this time. During COVID, she wrote that about COVID. So she had the lyrics and a bass line. And she sent me 2 or 3 songs, and I picked that one up. I thought, yeah, I could hear that in my head, you know, how it should sound. So I put like guitar parts to it and a little bit of different melody and a couple of bits. And it just, again, developed into a Girlschool song. Once we put Kim's voice on there, it's going to sound like Girlschool and Denise. That always does.
Yeah, that track's great. Let's see, track 6, Believing in You.
That one was a song we wrote with Philippa from Thunder Mother.
Okay.
Guitarist in Thunder Mother. Yeah, she was one of the songwriters that the record company put us in touch with. So me, Kim, and Philippa were on Zoom yet again, good old Zoom. And she wrote a song for us. She finished the song completely, like, you know, guitars, everything. We liked the actual music, but the lyrics didn't really fit what we would do, or the way they sang it. It was just like totally different. So we just took the music, ran with the music, and I wrote me and Kim wrote some lyrics in the studio while we were there. We just changed the lyrics. That was probably the hardest one to do, because changing the lyrics once you've heard the song is quite difficult. But yeah, we just changed all the lyrics in that one and just kept it as is.
Excellent. Track 7, It's a Mess.
It's a Mess. That's one I wrote on my own. That was probably the first track we had for the album. Because when I write songs at home, I finish them, do everything, drums, bass, guitars, vocals, backing vocals, everything.
Wow.
And I present it to Girlschool or to Cyteria, my other band, my own band, just to see if it suits, because sometimes they both suit both bands. You know, we heavy it up for Girlschool or we lighten it down for Cyteria.
Sure.
So, so I played both bands it, and both bands really wanted it. So Girlschool, obviously, we were recording last year, earlier, in December. So we did It's a Mess, because the record company and the band liked it. So we thought, okay, we'll just record it as it is. And then when I went into the studio with Cyteria in March this year, they wanted to do it as well. So we've actually got both bands doing that song in two different slightly ways.
That's awesome.
Slightly different.
And real quick, talk about your other band. And then you said
Cyteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I love gigging. I mean, I just love gigging and writing songs. I live for it. So with Girlschool in 2015, we were still doing a lot, but not enough for me. I like to play all the time. And because we all live so far away, it's not like we gig every weekend. Whereas I want it to be gigging every weekend. So I thought, if I put a band together in this vicinity in Yorkshire where I live, then I can gig more often. When I kind of fit it around Girlschool, so we gig when Girlschool aren't gigging, so nothing clashes.
Right.
I think in 6 years it's only clashed once, really, and that was an accidental clash because of COVID. So it's been great, because there's obviously no point in doing the same band twice, so I made it a little bit different by, I've got 4-part harmonies. It's 3 girls and a guy on drums, and we do it's more like rock pop. It's rock. It's got a bit of punk to it, bit punk pop. We've got lots of different elements and 4-part harmonies, and we're recording 432 hertz instead of 440. So it just gives the band a different dynamic to Girlschool, even though there's elements in there of Girlschool, because it's me.
That's really cool. Let's see, and
that comes out on 11th of August, which is 2 weeks later.
Cool. Nice. Awesome. Guys have to check that out too. Let's see, track 8, Into the Night.
Into the Night, that one, Kim and Nick Lashley, who's a guitarist, he's a big session musician, he lives in America, a songwriter as well. And they wrote that back in the 80s, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And it just never got used. And when she played us it, we thought, it's a great track, that would fit with the album. So we just included it, we just did it a little bit our way. I mean, there's a lot of the original guitar parts that I copied. And then we just added our own little bits to it,
Awesome. Let's see, track 9, Are You Ready?
Are You Ready? Now, that was the first single. We'd been on tour with Alcatraz and 2 or 3 different tours, and they did a single, and we were singing back vocals on it. Don't Get Mad, Get Even.
Yeah.
So when it came to recording our album, we decided they need to be on it. They need to be on it somehow. But we'd all gone home. They'd gone back to America. So we thought, Kim rang Joe up and said, do you want to be on the album, one of the tracks? So he actually wrote a guitar riff, and sent it to us, and we all loved it. It was like, that's really rocking. That suits definitely. So we went in the studio, recorded it. We put a song around it, as it obviously had lots of different bits, with the help of Tim Hamill, who was the engineer there. And once we heard it, we thought, this is great. Kim came up with a great melody to it and some words, and we recorded it as it is. And then at the end, we thought, we still haven't got Joe on this. So she rang him up again and said, well, do you want to put some guitars over what Jackie's done already? So I'd already done the solo, so it wasn't like just putting him in for the solo. So he just played like twiddly-widdly bits all over it.
Awesome.
And that's how that came about, So we did a video, they did a video with us in it, and for that one, we carried on the cartoon one with us in it and rescuing Joe.
Awesome. Let's see, track 10, Up to No Good.
Up to No Good, again, that was just something I did in the home studio, a riff that I had, and Kim just said Up to No Good, that would fit that. And to get Tracy and Denise involved, we thought, let them write the lyrics too. We had the chorus already, but they mostly Tracy put the lyrics to that one. And we just added the odd word here and there. So it all came together, that one, quite easily again.
Awesome. Track 11, Party.
Party, that was mainly Kim's idea. again, something we did on Zoom, the music. And of course, then when we were in the van on the tour, the European tour the year before, we were all just coming up with lines, you know. She'd say a line, and we just all I'd think of a counter line, like say something up above. I'd say, oh, right, rainbow rising up above. So I'd come up with that line, and then she'd say something else, and somebody else would come up with another line. So that came about over a couple of months, really, and then we just finished that one up in the studio with a line here and there. All songs from other songs, as you can probably imagine if you listen to it. It's all taken from famous songs.
Awesome.
Like Ride a White Swan, Can the Can, you know, lots of all the bands that have influenced us over the years, really.
Incredible. And before we do the last track, I wanted to ask you this. My co-host and I are huge Motorhead fans. We saw his second to the last show he ever played in America.
Right.
And my co-host had never seen Motorhead. I had seen them multiple times, but we got to go see them together. Any fun story about Lemmy?
Well, I think I've pretty much told every story there is to tell about Lemmy. But I mean, he was just such a great guy. And on tour, he was fun to be around. We always had a laugh with him. He always used to take the mickey out of my accent. He used to make fun of me just because I come from Yorkshire.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if you've heard of Monty Python. Do you get Monty Python?
I'm
there?
a huge Monty Python fan.
There you go. I mean, he's always doing the Four Yorkshiremen sketch when I saw him. Yorkshire. Because that's where I come from. It's a Yorkshire sketch, yeah.
Oh,
I thought,
that's
hang on a minute, you're taking the mickey out of my accent. You're from Stoke. But he was doing, even on the last tour, he did that as well. You know, I was at the sound check. I was chatting to him at the sound check while everybody was setting up. And he just started, every time, hey up, Jackie, hey up. And he'd do my accent. And then he just burst into Four Yorkshiremen sketch every time.
Yeah, I'm so glad that my co-host and I got to see him.
Oh, yeah.
But I had seen him so many times. Yeah, well,
yeah.
What was crazy was my favorite time ever seeing them, I saw them late 90s with Wasp.
Oh, yeah.
Or early 2000. I can't remember. They were touring together, and I went and saw them. And it was incredible. Just great. They were so great every time I saw them. I just thought I would ask you. I know there's a lot of ties with Girlschool and Motorhead. I just thought I would ask you that.
Oh, yeah. I've done many a tour with them.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. And then the last track, Born to Raise Hell.
Born to Raise Hell, yeah. Well, as I said, we've done a lot of tours with Motorhead. They were the beginning, and we thought, 45 years, it only seemed fitting that we would go full circle and put a Motorhead song on as the cover. We generally do a cover on each album.
Sure.
So that was, it was just deciding which one. There's so many great songs. And Kim's boyfriend, Carl, said, well, why don't you do Born to Raise Hell? It's just such a great song to sing. Quite anthemic, isn't it? Born to Raise Hell. And we just did that one. And then Kim called, why don't we ask Phil, Biff, and she has a mutual friend, Ray, who looked after Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
And Duff is apparently a really big Girlschool fan.
Awesome.
So, he just asked, and straight away he was like, yes, love to do it. So, yeah, we just had to wait for him to come off the tour, and then he just puts his bass line down. It was amazing. So we got Phil playing guitar, Duff playing bass, and Biff singing.
It's incredible.
Didn't have much to do apart from a little bit of rhythm guitar, some drums, and some backing vocals. It was great.
Awesome. Now, as far as just another Motorhead question for you, if you don't mind. Of the original lineup, were you friends with anyone outside of Lemmy? Did you know Eddie, or did you know Phil?
Yeah, Eddie, Phil, obviously Phil, Wurzel, of course, Wurzel.
Awesome.
Because we had Eddie on our Guilty as Sin. No, not Guilty as Sin. Hang on, I'm getting them all mixed up now. We had him on our Legacy album.
That's so cool.
When we did the Legacy album, which was our 30th album.
Yeah.
We had a full, we had a lot of guest stars on that one. So we had Lemmy on a song, we had Eddie on a song, we had Phil on a couple of songs. We had them all on different songs, We had Twisted Sister on there, and Dio, Tony Iommi.
Oh, wow.
Neil Murray. So we had quite a few guest stars on that one, yeah. So that was the 30th. We thought that was going to be our last album. And here we are at 45.
Yeah, it's incredible.
There you go. Yeah.
So for the cover of this, I love it. It's just the jacket. It's great.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, that was the record company idea. I came up with a title. What the 45. We were just in the studio, and we couldn't think of anything. You know, it's like every time you think of something, somebody else has had it, or it just sounds rubbish. Or
sure,
you think you don't make it a song title, because then you know that everybody thinks that's the title track.
Right.
So I was in the kitchen making coffee, and I just thought, wow, 45 years, what the? And I went in, oh yeah, I've got it. What the 45? So it's like that, what the 45, yeah. Right. So that's how it came about, the album title. And the record company liked it, all the band liked it, so we ran with that one. And it's taken on legs there. It's got a jacket, and each song seems to have a pair of underpants now with up to no good, or it is what it is on them.
That's awesome.
Songs. All sorts of merch ideas now with all those on, yeah.
Now, as far as the mixing and the production, who handled all that for the record?
Oh, the wonderful Tim Hamill.
Okay.
We always go to the same studio. We keep going back there because he's amazing. I go back there with Cyteria as well.
Okay.
Because I just think it's just an amazing... He's a lovely guy. He's just really, really sweet man. And he knows what he's doing. He's a talented musician. He's a very talented engineer. And it's in Wales, which is quite away from all of us. But we don't care. We travel. We pay the cost for the accommodation because it's worth it. We always have a good time, and we always get a good result. He's got a great production technique. He's very easy to work with. He comes up with some great ideas, and he always brings out the best in you as well. So it's a no-brainer that we go there every time.
Was it any different working this time on this record? And is it different working when you're working with two different bands with him?
No, not really. Because I just know him so well now. You know, I've been going there since I joined the band 24 years ago. We've only ever had one other producer, which is just Tangaridis for The Guilty of Sin, which was a record company idea. But yeah, we love going to Tim. We always will. We'll go back there every time we record with both bands.
Incredible.
The last album Cyteria did, well, all the 3 Cyteria albums are all done there as well.
Oh.
He's just got an amazing technique.
That's awesome. Is Girlschool going to be doing any more shows this year? Or?
Oh yeah, lots. We've just come back from Sweden and Denmark. We've got a couple of weeks off now before we go to South America in September.
Okay.
That is hopefully going to lead to America. Now we've got one gig. It's like a part 2. We've been told it's going to be some in November, one coast in November, and one coast in March next year.
Okay.
So we know we have Houston, Texas in March 21st next year.
Awesome.
So that's the definite gig. That's the pin gig, as it were. So that's the one that everything's going to be based around. So we think definitely March next year, if not before that in November, if all goes well. And a few, obviously, festivals here and there keep popping up. So, and once the album comes out, it all seems to more gigs manifest then.
That's awesome. Have you all done some of the summer festivals over there this year in Europe?
Yeah, we've done some festivals, yeah, and obviously I'm playing with my other band as well, so I'm going to have a busy year this year.
At this point, do you prefer doing festivals, or would you rather do actual, like a tour?
Oh, man, I love both. I mean, anything. I love festivals because it's a lot of people, and you get new people, because generally festivals, somebody may say go for Rammstein, and they've never heard of Girlschool. Sure. Or they'll be going with their dad for the first time to a festival, and they'll see Girlschool. They might have heard of us on a compilation album or from Motorhead. So it's like, you know, you get new people who then come along to your own shows.
Sure.
So there's a different feel to festivals in some ways. And then, of course, tour gigs. I love tours as well, because that's people are coming to see you. So you know that people know your songs, you know that they're there to support you, which is phenomenal, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Well, this record's incredible. Jackie, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this today.
Oh, no worries. Thank you.
Kids, go see Girlschool. We got a lot of European fans. Go see Girlschool. Pick this album up. It's great. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you.
Phantasm.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Phantasm.